You know, there was a time when little things were not actually little things. They were actually the things that held the world together. Things like holding a door open for somebody, waving at your neighbor as they go by, or a good old-fashioned handshake. It's funny how those little insignificant things actually were the things that built entire communities. So today, we're going to see if maybe we can re-practice the ancient retro art of human connection. Come on with me and let's go see what happens. I'm David Aaron Bryan, and welcome to the ride. Thanks for coming along, passengers. A few years ago, we had a situation in the earth where folks were spread 6 feet apart. They called it social distancing, and I understand there were reasons. But since then, somewhere along the way, it feels like we've been drifting further and further apart. And what once was 6 feet has now become 6,000 miles. Neighbors don't even talk to neighbors nowadays, and families don't visit folk or stop to talk to each other. I've even heard of churches splitting up all because of differences of opinions and ideas. Complete strangers argue with people they have never met. Meanwhile, at the supper table, they're sitting across each other, not having a word, not nearly nothing. Now, I've learned something recently of an idea they call no contact. And I ain't talking about flag football, I'm talking about people who intentionally cut off family members and friends and keep from gathering with one another. No contact, no parents, no children, all because they can't agree on stuff, or should we say, they cannot amicably disagree on stuff anymore. Can you imagine? No Thanksgiving, no Christmas, no birthday, no Sunday dinner, no fishing trip. No, nothing. And why? Because of a swarm of bees? No. Because of a herd of buffalo? No. Because of a tornado? No. All because politics. Sometimes politics. Now, don't get me wrong. There are situations where we have to clearly define boundaries for one another. But nowadays, we have become so quick to disconnect. We're forgetting how to reconnect. We've gotten real good at unfollowing and blocking and canceling and muting, but not nearly as good at forgiving and listening, or simply being neighborly folks, shall we say, and looking over and saying, hey, how are you? Good to see you today. Makes me wonder what would happen if folks started looking one another in the eye again. Wonder, maybe, just maybe, a good old-fashioned human connection could change somebody's day. We're going to try that today. We're going to go old school, talking about something that the world has nearly forgotten. We're talking about the gentlemanly art of handshaking. Now, back in the day when you shook hands with somebody, it actually meant something. When you shook hands, you made peace. You bought a meal. You shook hands, and neither one of you had to sign a paper. But nowadays, you got to have 17 signatures, 3 password, 2 verification code, and then somebody still steals your identity. It's amazing. But back in the day, a man's handshake wasn't just physical. It was his word. When he said, I'll be there at 3, if he shook your hand on it, you could count on it. He'd be there at 3. Handshakes were stronger than contracts, but somehow we've lost that trust. Let's make the reconnect. Shaking a hand is one of the most intimate, simple forms of connection. How you doing today? You doing well? Watch the smile that comes on people's faces when you shake hands. Y'all doing good today?
Yep.
Good. And the reason is we were born to need to make connection. Now there's some folks that when they shake hands, how are you doing today?
Alrighty.
Good, sir. Good, sir. Appreciate your service.
Thank you.
It's a little bit of a grip. Then there's other folks, it's a little softer, a little more gentle. Then there's the times you walk up and shake hands with somebody and they just kind of will pat you a little bit. That's either mama or an insurance salesman. Nevertheless, It's important to make that connection, and we've lost that connection in today's world, and that's why people are so broken apart. How y'all doing today? You good?
Hey, doing great.
Can I get a little? There we go. It's wonderful to make that connection. So what we're going to do is try to get some folks to reconnect. So we're going to play a game. We're going to find a couple of contestants. We're going to give them 1 minute to see how many hands they can shake. Today we're at the market and there's all kind of people out here, but let's see who wants to play the Shake a Hand Challenge today on the ride. So your name is?
My name's Gavin.
Gavin?
Blake.
Blake. Team Gavin, Team Blake. So we're going to find out who's better at making the connection, Gavin or Blake. They got 60 seconds. Each one of them is going to have an official to travel with them to go down anywhere you can go without knocking some little old precious little lady over. Anywhere you can go, up and down through here, up and down through there. 60 seconds. All right, are y'all ready, gentlemen?
Ready. Yeah, you. Oh, really? Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. So how you doing?
You too, thank you very much.
Adding a statement piece to your wardrobe. Just love the thrill of discovering something unique.
Okay, so these guys tied, so we're going to break the tie and let them go 30 more seconds. Politician smiles. Ready, set, go.
You're serving up fresh popcorn, old-fashioned caramel coffee, or soft cheese or chocolate like this, and rich brownie sundaes that are hard to resist. Gravy, milkshakes featuring 8 different made from scratch flavors that take classic shakes to the next level. And don't miss their fresh squeezed lemonades with all your favorite varied add-ins for the perfect refreshing treat.
Oh man, nice try. All this episode was about was reconnecting, because one of the problems with the world today is not just the crazy people, but it's people that have forgot how to connect. It's an old-timey thing, but we just resurrected it today. Great job, bros, man. Y'all are awesome. So the winner of the $20. Congrats, bro.
I did it. Yeah, I'm friendly.
Shake, yeah. You get the award, man. Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it.
Have a great day.
Yeah, God bless.
You too. And that's it. That's how easy it is to connect. You can do it too, and you don't have to make a challenge out of it. You can actually just be standard, human, and nice. Great job, guys. Hey, it's time to check out the old travel box. Oh yeah. Everything in the old travel box points to somewhere, and this points to today in our journey, a pair of old vintage leather gloves. You know why I like this? Because hands built this country. They fixed tractors, they raised chickens, they held babies, they comforted hurting people, they folded in prayer. Hands matter. And I'll tell you what, if we'd think about holding them more than pointing them, it'd do us well. Somebody had sent me a note the other day and asked, what's one thing that you would bring back from old times? I got an easy answer. How about the act of listening? And yes, disagreeing respectfully as well, but listening's good. Sue sent us a question. She said, if you could sit down with any old-time retro TV family, the Cleavers, the Bradys, the Ingalls, the Waltons, who would it be? I believe I'd hang out at the Ingalls just long enough to have supper, maybe get a little bit of the pot pie. How about you? Let us know in the comments below where you'd like to hang out. Which retro TV family would you hang out with? Now, somebody had sent a question the other day also asking how can they engage with some of our future programs? Easy. What you do is just make suggestions where you'd like for us to visit or what retro thing you'd like for us to visit, and we would be happy to share it on programs coming up in the future. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe right here on The Ride. Today, we've been talking about the art of reconnecting, shaking hands. Now this week, what I'd like for you to do, our challenge for you this week, is actually a pretty difficult one. See, communities don't collapse overnight. They collapse slowly when people start caring less about one another. But communities can be rebuilt through conversations and interaction and hanging out on front porches. So here's your challenge for this week. And again, it's going to be a little bit difficult. Shake somebody's hand. Look them in the eye. Remember their name. And before the week's over, encourage somebody, not online, but face to face. Look them in the eye. Make them feel good about themselves. Sometimes the strongest person in the room is the first one willing to say, "Hey, good to see you. How are you today?" Etc., etc. Be that person this week. Well, friends, it's another great ride in the books for this week. You know, these old roads are teaching me something. The further we travel, the more valuable good people become. Cars eventually rust and wear out. Roads will change, buildings disappear, but friendships like you and I, they're worth hanging on to. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And wherever this week might take you, don't just pass people by. Shake a hand, smile, learn their name, and be kind to the person and leave them feeling better than when you first met them. That's how we're going to change the world. I'm David Bryan, and until next time, keep making memories, and remember, keep the shiny side up. Old roads, new adventures. I'll see you there. I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see clouds of blue, skies of white, the bright blessed day and the dark sacred night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, also on the faces of people passing by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, "How do you do?" They're really saying, "I